Do you really know anything about your faith? Check this out.
Who started the Baptist denomination?
Who started the Baptist? Is that him?
Why are you committing your entire life, your money, your time to a system you've never truly examined? If you don't know the history of your faith, then what are you really practicing? If I told you I was a pilot, but I didn't know how to fly a plane, that wouldn't make much sense, would it? Do you know anything about the major players involved in shaping your faith, like, Constantine, the Roman emperor, who wasn't even a believer, who legalized Christianity, blended it with Roman paganism, and allowed Jesus to be part of God? It was Constantine who helped to establish the Nicene Creed in the Council of Nicaea, which gave birth to the idea of the Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. This Father, Son, and Holy Ghost thing didn't fall from heaven. That fell from a political meeting. The church and the government were one and the same. This is why the Emperor Constantine decided that the church doesn't have to pay taxes. You still find that true today. Do you know anything about Irenaeus, who told believers to shut their minds off and just accept what the church says because questioning the church made you a heretic? That's why Proverbs says, lean not unto thine own understanding. That's not wisdom. That's control. Did you know that Tertullian helped to determine that Jesus' resurrection had to be physical, not spiritual? Because if it was spiritual, it would imply that anybody could rise. And power doesn't like equality. So they made sure that the resurrection was off limits to common people. The resurrection of Jesus was decided in a meeting. Did you know that Eusebius was instrumental in making people believe that the Bible was actually world history? This is why people take the Bible seriously. They believe the stories in the Bible really happened. This is why Netflix has the story of Moses in the real stories section. Even though this tale echoes Sargon, a ruler of Mesopotamia, whose mother floated him down a river in a basket 1,000 years before Moses lived. The biblical story of Moses and many other biblical prophets are just carbon copies of other ancient stories. What about Augustine, the original "you are nothing" preacher? He promoted the idea that people were inherently sinful, broken, and needed to be ruled. Augustine pushed the idea that people were powerless and that slavery and the concept of superior and inferior human beings were just the natural order of things. Did you know that the worshiping of Mary had to be allowed by the leaders of the government and the church? Yes, that Mary, the Virgin Mary, had to be approved by government and church officials. It's never been about truth. It's always been about control. That's why all over the world you find the people who are the most religious to be the poorest. Religion is the gateway to gullibility. If I can get you to believe this crazy stuff, then I can control you on everything else. There were even theodicy laws that prohibited anyone from disagreeing with the church. This is why we are trained like dogs not to question our religion.
You can't question God. God do things for a reason.
And why are all the major sects of Christianity discovered by white men? The Roman Catholic, white. Lutheranism, white. Protestantism, white. Presbyterianism, white. Evangelicalism, white. Baptist traditions, white. Methodism, white. Calvinism, white. Mormonism, definitely white. The only exception would be Seventh-day Adventists, founded by a white woman. How does a faith that allegedly began in the Middle East among dark-skinned, oppressed people become a global European empire who used it to control and colonize and enslave and whitewash history? Doesn't that make you a little suspicious? You don't have faith. You have a script. You've been programmed. You're not practicing religion. You're practicing obedience.